what it is, and you already know who it is. It is your boy B, and I'm right back up at you cats with another Lit Eye, baby. And it's the weekend, man. The weekend is over. It is Monday. Monday, and the last time I came on to speak to you guys was Friday. So we 2 days later, a lot more experiences, a lot more thoughts, and we just gonna keep the integrity of the show, you know? And I missed you guys, man. I missed you guys. What you guys will notice is that I'm about what? A half an hour later today. And it's a fun story on why I'm a half an hour late. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm always on time, man. I may be late, but I'm always on time. So peep it. I went to bed early last night, man. Went to bed real early last night. I went to bed yesterday. It was like, what, 6 o'clock in the morning, right? What's up, everybody in the chat? Hit that like button when you step in. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So I went to bed early last night. I can't even call it last night. I call it yesterday evening around 6 o'clock. And I slept, and woke up this morning like around 1:30. About 1:30, I woke up this morning. So I woke up feeling good, got prepared, put on my clothes, took my shower. And guess what, y'all? I left my damn wallet in somebody's vehicle. So what I had to do was drive all the way to go get that wallet. And once I got that wallet, I came back, and now we on our walk and doing the live. But the good thing about it is this, man. When you get up early and you prepare, you ain't got to get ready. You understand what I'm saying? So theoretically, I'm late to the live about a half an hour, but I'm really on time for work, man. You know why? Because I'm already like 3 hours early. So if I'm an hour late on my time, I'm still 2 hours early. You dig? But that's a little secret. You feel me? And when you think about doing that for 10 years now, actually like 15 years now, you just start realizing, man, you know, you other people in the year 2025, but you already in 2027, 2028 already, man. But that's a little secret. I'm gonna keep that to myself. You dig? So y'all know how we start the shows off with the 10%. Then we start speaking about work. And then we ultimately speak about growth as a human being and personal life. You dig? So health-wise, for the health, we got some good news and we got some bad news, people. Which I want to hear first, the good news or the bad news? Chat. What up, chat? We got 14 people on the live. Which I want to hear, the good news or the bad news first? Somebody said nice. Purple, what is that? Purple Vams? Purple Yams. All right, Purple Yams, okay. So what up? I thought you said Purple Vans. You know? So which I want to hear first, the good news or the bad news? They said the good news. All right, so the good news is this. Ultimately, y'all know I got diabetes and my numbers look good. So they were steady. We talking about 126 for the whole weekend, 130 around there. It didn't go high all weekend. So I got the Dexcom. If y'all don't know, everybody new here. And my Dexcom is set to 400. So if my sugar reaches higher than 400, that's when you're gonna get the beeping. You're gonna get the beeping. And that happens when I don't take my sugar or I don't take my shots. So this week, the good news is that I took my shots, you know what I mean? And my sugar was normal. Now here comes the bad news. The bad news about it is that, damn, man, I told you I wasn't gonna drink anymore, but I did, son. Had a few drinks this weekend, man. And then it wasn't good, yo, you know? It wasn't like hard liquor like I usually drink, the vodka and all that other stuff. It was them fireballs, man, they got me, son. The fireballs at the store. The fireballs at the corner store, they done got me, man. You know? Like they play it off like they real liquor, but it's malt liquor if you think about it. You know? Somebody said, oh, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. I was messing with that, man, you know? Them fireballs. And sometimes they mess with my stomach, but it didn't. I still was able to drink. But that, man, I on Friday, I had a few. On Saturday, I had a few. And Sunday, I laid off of it, you know? So, damn. It is what it is. We're going to do better next week, you dig? This week. So after we spoke about that, we get into the work thing, you know? And work was cool. Work was cool. You know, I'm off on the weekends, but I did do some extra stuff. I told y'all last week I'm putting together a tutorial. I said that people at the office, They get on a loudspeaker talking crazy. When you really listen to them, they saying 1 + 1 = 7. You feel me? And that ain't cool. So I said, at first, I was like, damn, looking at them and like, yo, this is messed up. But then I'm like, man, let's just chill, son. Let's just chill. We gonna make sure our department doesn't look like that. You feel me? Somebody said that bad pork. You crazy, son. I'm good though. I feel good. You know what I mean? I laid off yesterday, so we straight. That bad poke. Exactly. So, like I said, man, I was gonna spread out the knowledge. I'm not gonna let it be something that I hold hostage. You know what I mean? Because that's what they do. And I ain't that type of person, son. You feel me? So, like I said, I started teaching the people. And we finished with that tutorial. Not completely finished, but we almost there. You dig? We almost there. But on Friday, y'all know what happened, man. Said hi. Somebody says hi. Layla Rose, what up? What up? What up? Lola Rose was good. Yes, sir. So on Friday, y'all know what happened on Friday. And I think Friday I told y'all I was going to put a little bit of bet on that Jake Paul fight against my boy AJ. I did, y'all. I did. And guess what? I won a little something, son. I won a little something on Friday, about $120. You feel me? I put that AJ was going to win by knockout and that it was going to enter in the second round. So I'm like, all right, cool. I put, what, 300 on that? I think it paid out like $96 or $100. And then I also put $50 on AJ winning the fight by knockout. That didn't pay too much. I think I put 100 on that, and it paid out like, no, I put 50 on that, and it paid out like 70 something, which isn't too bad. And then I picked that the fight was gonna end in round 4. I picked round 4, but it didn't end in round 4. You know what I mean? I was mad at that boy Jake Paul. Somebody said Paul got exposed like a subway flasher. He damn sure did get exposed. He damn sure didn't get exposed. But I was thinking about it. And I'm like, I know the type of style he gonna fight. And he did exactly what I thought he was gonna do. He ran around the ring, avoided, confrontation, and he held when he got in, What country you in? England? Nah, I ain't in England, man. I'm not in England, but I watch boxing. I'm not in England, I'm in the US, you feel me? But I really like boxing. And some of the English fighters from the UK, they some of my favorite fighters, you know what I mean? Rest in peace to Ricky Hatton, a straight up beast. He was one of my favorite fighters. There's only one Ricky Hatton. I also like Carl Froch. He was another one of my favorite fighters. He's a straight up badass, son. Carl Froch, straight up badass, son. Who else? I like AJ. Y'all know I rock with Tyson Fury. Who else I rock with from the UK? Whew. Some of my favorite fighters from the UK. That's all I could think about right now. But those are definitely some of my favorite fighters. But yeah, back to the fight. So yeah, that was straight. That was a good fight. It was entertaining. Definitely entertaining. I think do I give Jake Paul props for being a good fighter? Yeah, not a good fighter, but I respect him, son, for actually getting in the ring. You feel me? AJ's no joke, y'all. AJ's not no clown in the ring. You feel me? So I wouldn't call him elite heavyweight now. Y'all know Usyk beat him twice. Daniel Dubois just knocked him out. Y'all know what happened with him with Andy Ruiz. But he was still always one of my favorite fighters, man. I just like the kid, you know what I mean? He got that Africa tattoo on him. I know his story about how he came to England, how he wanted to fight for, what was that, Nigeria? I forget which country it was in Africa that he wanted to fight in the Olympics for. But I definitely respect that man, and I like him, So I give Jake Paul props for stepping in the ring with him, The way he fought wasn't the way a real boxer would have fought. He said, look at that house. Oh, you like that? Yeah, that was a nice house, man. There's a couple more that we're going to go through. I'll show y'all a few. Couple more nice houses. We're in Freeport, New York over here. The area where I'm walking in is called Stearns Park over here. This is a very, it's a nice area out here. Very nice area. We definitely going to pass a few more houses that look real nice, So yeah, AJ's no joke, man. And I definitely like AJ, So on Saturday night, I went out, man. I went out. And if you like this, somebody said, be careful in New York. We straight, thank you. I feel like this is my hood, baby. I feel like this is my hood. Of course, it could go down anywhere, But I would be really offended if someone in Freeport robbed me, yo. I'd be offended like, yo, I live here, son. I put on for Freeport. This is my town, too. So I would definitely feel some type of way to get robbed out here in Freeport, you know? But yeah, so we went out, or I went out on Friday night, and I went to a place in Brooklyn called Dyker Heights. I believe that's the way they say it, right? Dyker, what is it called? Dyker Heights or Dyker Slope or something like that. But it's out there in Brooklyn. And they have like a whole bunch of Christmas lights on the houses and stuff like that. And it's about 4, 5, 6 blocks, city blocks where you just walk this way, turn that way, walk this way, turn that way, and there's nothing but lights. See, there's another one they did official. It's kind of nice there. Somebody said, what time is it here? It's 5:16 a.m. 5:16 in the a.m. But I like that, yo. You know, that was nice. So yeah, went out there. And it was like beautiful, man. 5, 6 blocks of houses that's all decorated. Everybody plays in on it. They got the people. Somebody said Nutcracker is cool. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Nutcracker is cool. So over there in Dyker Heights out there in Brooklyn, I mean, it's beautiful, man. If y'all think that's nice, just imagine 15, 20, 30 houses back to back to back. Everybody was out there walking. They had the hot chocolate out there. They had candy canes, the reefs. It was such a beautiful, 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 beautiful moment. You know, real nice, but cold. It was freezing, you know, but it was nice. It was definitely nice. After that, I went to the movies to go see that movie. What was it called? I always get the Housemaid, or House Bride, or something like that. Housemaid, House Bride, or I don't even know. I messed the name up, but it was a cool movie, yo. It was kind of hot. And it was actually out here in Long Island, son. But up north, it happened in Great Neck. That's where the rich people live at. Great Neck, Manhattan, all over there. So it happened out there. Shorty, you know, I guess she was from the city. They didn't really go too deep into that. Then she went to be like a housemaid. I think that's the name of the housemaid. A housemaid for these rich people that lived out there in Great Neck. And what she went through was wild. So I ain't gonna ruin it for you. But it was an interesting movie, you know? Interesting movie. Then after that, you know, we talking late now. It was mad late. After the movies, walked down to Rockefeller Center over there to see the tree. And guess what, y'all? That damn thing was closed. They turned off the lights. Locked the gate to the park. You couldn't go down to the ice skating. Y'all knew that? They say New York the city that don't sleep. But that tree was knocked out, son. Thanks for the like, yo. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. Thanks for the like. Yeah, that tree was knocked out. Yo, it wasn't even lit. How the tree, you know, people go to the tree like, how the tree not gonna be on? And that's what it was, man. That damn tree wasn't on. Y'all was mad. So we walked down there in the middle of the night for nothing. Then over there, they got like train stations that like certain entrances are abandoned because they're doing work over there. So it kind of looked like New York in the 90s. And it's freezing. So you got one entrance over there. One entrance, I think it's like 5th Avenue. And you got cats smoking weed in the front. You got homeless people down there laying. It looked kind of shaky, son. You know? Look at that one. Which one you like? That? But yeah, it kind of looked shaky, man. But I walked through it, got on that E, you know, and came to Jamaica. And then from Jamaica, we in Long Island, baby. We in Long Island. But this got me to thinking, man. As a 45-year-old man, and chat, this is for y'all. What is the youngest that you would date in a woman, man? What's the youngest that you would date in a woman as a 45-year-old man? Is it 23? Some people feel like as long as she old enough, as long as she an adult, then she could be dated. How y'all feel? I don't believe in that. I definitely don't believe in that. Then, so we talking 21. I would say that's a little bit too young. We talking like what? After that, after college, around that time. So now we talking 26. Is a 26-year-old too young for a grown-ass, rusty 45-year-old man to be dating? Somebody said, Purple Yams said 32 or 45. 32 or 45. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. So 26, right? It's 26, 27, too young to be dating. Somebody said, yes, it is. As a 45-year-old person, somebody said 36 definitely. So as a 45-year-old man that's pretty established, I would consider myself established, is 26 years old, too young to be dating. I look at it like this, man. I got a niece who was born in 1998. I was graduating from high school. I look at her, not as a kid, because I know she's an adult, but at the same time, she's very young, yo. And what she's looking for in life is different than what I'm looking for in life. Somebody said 100%. You know, so I definitely think 26 is way too young for me. If me and the 26-year-old got a lot in common to speak about, and she ain't had them same life experiences that I had, then I'm looking at myself like, damn, yo, what the hell have I been doing for 30 years, 20-something years? You know, it is legit, but it feels wrong. Somebody says it's legit, but it feels wrong. I feel you. I feel you. You're 100% on that, for real. You know, it feel wrong, because you feel like you kind of taking advantage, and they haven't had too many. You know, they're still young, they're still tender in the mind. You know, and I'm not gonna say that that's a sweeping answer, because of course you have some women who's 26 and been through a whole lot, and they could give you some of their experiences. You also have somebody said 30, 36, and I think like around 31, 32. I think that is pushing it on the young side. 32, I think that's pushing it on the young side. But a woman at 32, 33, and I'm at 45, she know what she want. She's secure in who she is, and she know how to treat a man. I think that's a sweet spot. What they say? Somebody said, I can date any age or race. I know how to start chapters and create a new vibe between us. I've been on white girls heavy, ATM. It's like 119, right? Imagine me dating a somebody said, imagine me dating a 67-year-old and I'm 26. That's bad. Yeah. I think everybody got a point in what they saying. Somebody said that they could, they date whoever, and the age don't matter. I mean, of course, there's going to be exceptions to every rule, I think, but in general, I'm talking 90% of the time, 87% of the time, around there. I think that, for somebody like me, 32, 33, older than that, you got to be older than that, of those age. I think that's the sweet spot for me. You understand what I'm saying? That's the sweet spot. Because, some of these, all right, so I'm going to tell y'all, damn, I got to leave too, because my train is over there coming, and I usually stop when we get to the 7-Eleven. So I'll say this, we'll end up on it maybe tomorrow. That's what I'll say. I'll say this. Me being the real person that I am, it's certain things that I can tell people's age and their maturity level. So when you speak in cliches, like say it is what it is, or certain things, and I ask you to elaborate on that, and you don't have anything to elaborate on, that right there, some of the signs that I start seeing. I ask them certain things, and I'm heavy on Facebook. I'm heavy on these social media sites, and I just see you just parroting the things that they say with no anecdotal or life experience to back that up. That's one of the signs that I look at right there, So I'm gonna read the comments, and then we're gonna get up out here. I said it matter, but it's not gonna stop none. I wouldn't go under 21 though. How old are you, my man? X Powers, how old are you, my brother? Somebody Purple Yams again said Ty. All right, Ty. Somebody said I was 16 and dated a 32-year-old. Now I'm 38 and dating a 47-year-old. All right, my man, Dino, he know what them 47-year-olds, 45-year-olds do. He already know. At that age, you know just as well as I know what they into. You feel me? And it's all day. But it is what it is. We're going to keep that between us. Lala Rose says she subbed or he subbed. Thank you very much for the sub. Somebody said me too. Somebody said hello. Thank you, cats, for being on the check-in, man. I'm about to get up out of here. Ty, thank you. All right, Ty, we up out of here. Somebody said, wait up, 28. But I was 18 and was dating a 32-year-old after getting out of my first serious relationship. How many years was you in that relationship, my brother? At 18 and you 28. Yeah, you got some good experience, man, for 10 years. 10 years of experience, Why we talking about dating? Somebody said, why we talking about dating? Ain't no reason why we talking about dating. It's just You know, came across my mind. Y'all know me. I do a lot of thinking in my head, son. That's the same thing Einstein and Darwin and them did. But they was thinking about different stuff. Einstein and Darwin, them cats, they be thinking, damn, son, what if I was traveling the speed and somebody stayed on Earth and I left the atmosphere of traveling the speed of light? How would we age? Those the those the those the type of things they was thinking about, yo. But all right, y'all, thank y'all, man. Y'all gotta have me here all day. I love y'all. Thanks for checking in. It's your boy B. Yeah.